Hey guys, we are here on a beautiful morning in Indianapolis, and it's not just beautiful because of this great weather, it's because we are announcing our 2024 Top Shop. They have no idea. It's Best-One of Indy. Come on. Not every tire shop can make the claim that they attract raving fans, but at Best-One of Indy, it's kind of what they're known for. I mean, it's literally their mission, and honestly, they just do a great job at it. And you've got to give this team credit. It's not easy making a raving fan out of someone who just found out that they're going to need to drop a few $100s on tires.
As of right now, Best-One of Indy is not in the running for Top Shop. You actually are our Top Shop. So congratulations, guys. You are our 2024 Top Shop.
We also have a representative here from Coates who graciously sponsors everything that we do for Top Shop here. So Ben, if you want to say a few words.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's kind of surreal. I've recognized a few faces here in the past. I actually lived in Indianapolis for about 5-6 years, starting in 2007, and was a supplier and partnered here to Best-One as well, back when it was Indy Tire. But couldn't be more honored. I want to congratulate this team. I know the culture that you guys build and how strong it is, and it's a representation of why you guys are the winner. So congrats.
To understand the inner workings of what makes this business tick, what makes Best-One of Indy work so well, from attracting customers to hiring skilled technicians who want to stay on board for the long term, to how the business stays at the front of drivers' minds in the Indy area. I sat down with the leadership team here at Best-One to pick their brains. Guys, congratulations. You've just been named Tire Review's 2024 Top Shop. And you know, we see it as a pretty big deal. It's not an easy accolade to gain. So I just wanted to go down the line here and have you each kind of give me a phrase that tells you why Best-One is deserving of being named Top Shop.
I guess if I was looking for a phrase, I would say creating raving fans. We're always looking to get better. We're always looking to put a smile on our customer's face when they come in, and our people that work with us. So.
I'd say it's our commitment to our team members and our culture. That commitment leads to their commitment to our customers. It's all encompassing.
Yeah, mine's actually a lot of what they say. I think it comes down to our people and creating raving fans. And, you know, we truly believe in creating raving fans internally. And so in turn, then they'll create raving fans of all of our customers.
Mm-hmm. And I think culture, whether it's about how our team members work with each other, how our team members work with customers, you know, our VPs, you know, they're not sitting in stuffy offices counting the dollars and cents. They're engaging with our people. You can find them at the stores. So that culture of really building relationships with each other and our customers.
Wow. And so, you know, how do you develop a culture like that? I mean, how do you stand out against the competition where, you know, competition's fierce in this industry? So how do you make sure that every day that you're standing out a little more than your neighbor?
Yeah, I think, look, when it comes to Indianapolis, there's lots of places that do great automotive repair. So we believe in not only standing out for our good automotive repair, but also for the experience you get. Trula said, I don't know, probably 10 years ago, if a customer comes in for an oil change, we do an oil change, it costs what they said it was going to cost, and they leave in the time that we said it was going to leave, why would they come back? You've done exactly what you said you were going to do. What's the piece that makes them come back to you? And so some of the things we do, you know, we have complimentary beverages in our showroom. We do workstations that have plug-ins so people can sit there and work and be more comfortable as they spend the time there. We even have umbrella stands at our doors so we can get an umbrella out and walk our customers out if we need to. Everything down to we pull tires out of our showrooms, and we've done that because people just in generally don't like the smell of tires. And so, long story short, it's all about the customer experience. A lot of people fix cars. We like to believe that we also create an experience of creating raving fans.
Yeah, well, let those people who don't like that smell speak for themselves. That's right. I tend to like it a little bit.
I think in addition to that, outside the stores is our commitment to the community through philanthropies. different things. Right now we're doing a peanut butter and jelly fundraiser for Thanksgiving, but it's to be a part of the community, a trusted member of the community is part of our success.
Absolutely.
And it's special that the relationship our managers and our technicians have with the customers that go to their stores. Like they could know which kid's doing what softball league or baseball league or in this band. You know, they'll sit there and have conversations about their life. So it's beyond just the counter and the services we offer. It's really that customer service, getting to know each other.
And so, you know, you're putting so much effort into customer service, all of these things that you're doing collectively to create that raving fan. But what do you see as the value of having that raving fan? What is kind of the ROI on acquiring that person who just can't get enough Best-One?
Word of mouth and getting more people, getting their friends in. You know, they have a great experience. They're going to share it. We have a love-hate relationship with social media and the internet and reviews, but really, you know, our stores just excel in positive reviews. The amount of reviews we get that customers will mention names, whether it's a manager or a tech, and to know that that person's now told how many people that's going to see that review or their friends, and for them to say, hey, yep, I was recommended by this person. Like, that raving fan experience just keeps going. I think that's great.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, when you look at all the different ways you can market, right, whether it's online or TV or radio, there's just so many places that you can spend your money. The reality is we just get such great return from taking care of people and letting them come back to us.
Yeah, sure.
The word of mouth is important. On the commercial side, we have an annual golf outing. And as much advertising or marketing as we can do commercially, nothing beats putting all your commercial fleets together for a day of fun and letting them talk about our service. Yeah. They sell it much better than we can.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I wanted to ask you about your mirror hang tags. I mean, that's something that's fairly unique to you guys, and you know, I just want you to explain kind of what that is and kind of what the value of doing it is.
Yeah, so it came about because we were trying to figure out a way to get our techs more engaged, taking more ownership of their work. So the back of it, they sign their name and it says, you know, your service was provided by, and they have the name of the technician that worked on their car. And so it really just allows us to take that engagement level, you know, just move that notch a little bit more to get that tech, like I said, taking ownership of their work. And then if there happen to be any problems, the customers can come back and say, hey, this is who did it and whatnot. But the mirror hang tag also has a bounce back feature. It has the coupons on there. So when the customer leaves, it's right in their face. They know, okay, great, I can save next time. And so.
Yeah, just another great way to bring that person back and have them hopefully share their experience with others. Want to step back for a moment, talk about the pandemic just for a second, because I think most of us would agree there was kind of a way of doing business before, and now there's a way of doing business after. I mean, things have changed for just about every industry out there. How have things changed for you? And now that we're, you know, this far past it, how, you know, what have you adapted that has kind of been a win?
Yeah, so you know, during the pandemic, there was lots of things we had to do, right? Everybody had to adjust on the fly, everything from, you know, rearranging showrooms for social distancing to offering pickup, drop-off service, you know, sanitizing cars, you know, using all the PPE, car protectant we can when we were using them. So during the pandemic, we made lots of changes. But afterwards, really the biggest thing we've seen is the way the customer wants to be communicated with. And so we now text with customers. We get a lot more online appointment requests and also a lot more pricing online. And so we even moved to a digital inspection. And so we don't have that rolled out everywhere, but what we see the benefit of is the customer has all the data for the decision making in front of them, whether they're in our store or not in our store. So it's been good. I think overall the business has still ran the same, just the way the customer's communicated with is a little different than pre-pandemic.
Yep. And we put a web chat on our website because, like Nick says, the communication, how that customer communicates, we want to make sure we're right there, you know, to take care of them. So we added that, and honestly, it's kind of a win because we got rid of the magazine racks. Yeah. We know, you know, those had to go during the pandemic, and so we got rid of that. But and our showrooms are still very clean, I think.
Yeah.
So
They're very clean.
they are.
Yeah. You guys do a great job as far as having a very welcoming environment. People, when you come in, it is a very, it's not, you're not walking into some place that you don't want to be,
Yeah.
And I think it truly feels that way just from a consumer perspective. Wanted to go into your digital marketing strategy a little bit because you guys, your digital marketing is truly phenomenal. It really is. I mean, I think I have a thing to learn from you guys and how you're able to, get customers through the door through your digital marketing. So I wanted to just ask, how do you make sure that you are getting the most bang for your buck, that you're, not putting in more elbow grease than you need to when it comes to that marketing?
Well, the first thing is you have to have a Trula, so good luck with that.
See you later, guys. You know what? Social media is really huge for us, and we try to, and on our website, we try to put out content that is not just, sale, promotion. We know that we got to be emotional with people, whether it's funny or we're talking about Veterans Day, whatever the topic is, we got to hit a nerve with them.
Yeah.
So we really try and mix. Sprinkle in a little bit of stuff about our sales, of course, because we want to get people in. But really, it's like what Scott said earlier, community. It's focusing on each of our stores. So if something's going on, if there's an event, we want to make sure we talk about that. We just want to make sure that we really convey and communicate with what the customer is, what they're living, what they're doing every day. We want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And by the way, we also have tires. We also have this deal going on.
Sure.
So that's really kind of second to being able to touch, I know it might sound cheesy, but kind of touch the lives of our customers, So that's what we do a lot. And then Google, of course.
Yeah.
We know we have to be there, but that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been talking a lot about marketing, not so much about the training aspect, but obviously training is huge for anybody in this business. How do you make sure that you are staying on top of training, that you are putting in for that pursuit of perfection that you're looking for, and just making sure that that's going to be the best that you can be to take care of that customer at the end of the day?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'm glad you brought up committed to the pursuit of perfection. Look, we know we're never going to be perfect, but we're committed to always trying to be better than we are today. And so, if you look at our store managers, for instance, 10 of our 15 store managers have been promoted within the company. So the way they got there, right, was from showing their dedication to Best-One, showing their dedication to our customers, showing their dedication to other team members. And then once they become the manager, 11 of those 15 have been through our leadership training program, which is actually a 2-year program. You go quarterly for 2 days. And I think what that really does is equips our managers, our store leaders, to engage with our team members, right? The problem is in what we do, especially when you look at the general service side of things, those guys are very anonymous day in and day out in what they do. And so it's not just, hey, I'm changing tires, hey, I'm changing oil. We like them to understand how important you are to making this business successful, right? There's more to it than you're changing tires and oil. You have people's lives in your hands, and also without you, we cannot be successful. So we have to have you. And so I think it really lets all of our store leaders see the value of everyone, love on our people well, and things like that. And then when you look at the technician, the general service technicians, we offer a NAPA apprenticeship program. That's a 1-year program. And when they complete that program, one, they're ready to do ASE testing, and they also walk away with $5,000 in tools. So it's a great program overall. They have a 2-year commitment to us. But it gives us the opportunity for them to get some hands-on training in class, then come back into the shop, mentor with someone else, and so that way they can take that next step. And then also when you look at training, really it begins at the very beginning. So our HR manager, Dom, Dom Melvin, she does a fantastic job during that orientation process. We have a roadmap we lay out and say, hey, here's where you are today. But when you get to this point, you can make a decision. When you're at a GS, do you want the next step in your career path, is it to go into the shop and become a technician, or do you want to work your way up front, right? When you're a road technician in commercial, is the next step for you to become a heavy truck mechanic and work on the semis, work on the trailers, on the mechanical side of it, or do you want to come to the counter and manage that piece of it? So try to build that roadmap and let them see all the opportunities that are available here at Best-One.
Really, at the end of the day, it's a win for them and it's a win for us. And kind of what we said in the beginning, to developing that culture of engagement.
Yes.
Just everyone feeling like they have a hand in our success.
Yeah, yeah. And have, if somebody approaches one of your team members and says, hey, I think I'm ready for the next step, I don't know the best place for me to fit, how do you help guide them?
I think it just depends on where they're at, right? I'll give you an example. We have a technician who is just done turning wrenches, right? And this is not an easy job on your body, and so you get to a certain point where you're just like, man, I'm tired of being bent over. I'm tired of having snow dripping on my head while I'm looking for a rattle. And so what we done was we did a ride along a shadow with one of the outside salesmen in Scott's department. Who knows where that's going to land long term, but he came and said, hey, I have a need to get out of this. And so we said, hey, look, let's show you some options. We don't know if those options are going to work or not, but we do have some options, so let's look at what they are.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're also really good about, if maybe someone moves, so we can take the option of relocating them. So because we don't want to lose them.
Yeah.
You just had that recently, didn't you, Scott?
Yeah, we had a technician move to be with his family in Florida, and we're able to place him with the best one down in Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was cool. Good guy.
Benefit of having such a huge network,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, speaking of this is a great segue. You have 15 locations for Best-One of Indy here. How do you know, what's the best time to expand? What's the best time for a merger? What are you looking at? What are the kinds of pieces that need to fit together for you to say, okay, I think this is going to be a good fit to acquire this shop or expand into a new territory?
I think you're always looking to expand. I think you want to grow. All your tire manufacturers want more and more every year, so you need to grow. I think it's important. When I look back at some of the expansions we've done, the best thing we did is put a plan together. I think it's important to have a plan. Truly was part of that. Joe Kraus, who was part of our administrative team, he put a plan together. So really looking at everything that's going to be involved in it. I think you got to have the right people. And if nothing else, we've learned that change is constant. So sometimes you get involved with mergers and they don't go the way they should, or maybe they take a good turn. You got to have guys on staff that can make those switches and turns and move forward. One thing good about mergers is it all boils down to people, and it's exciting to add people to your team that are families of people kind of like us, have been in the business for years and care about their people, and going through an acquisition like that where you got good people, it makes it so much easier. The other thing that we found that helps with us is we like to go in early and see how they operate under the ownership that they currently have. So if we can do that helps us understand, how they operate, what it looks like, so that we can make the transition a lot easier. But with any merger, everybody's concerned about their job and putting them at peace and letting them to see, what our culture looks like is important. And we're always ready to grow. So.
And some of our acquisitions have involved, retirement. It's just been the right time. And, within Best-One, we take a look at where our store's at, the markets, so who's able to acquire them. So, that's kind of worked out how, we've been able to expand into other markets.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of owners out there that are aging, and they don't have an exit plan. And so I think you have to have your eyes open for any kind of acquisition that you're willing to do, and at least see if it makes sense for your business.
Yep.
I was thinking the word opportunities.
Yeah.
Always be looking for opportunity, and also expansion's exciting. It's fun, but also be able to step back and say this isn't the right move for us. We've done that a couple of times too, where we really wanted something to happen, but it just didn't feel right. And so, out of respect for those team members, and ours, we've walked away from some too, but it's been fun.
Yeah, and I think that what he touched on about the people is so important. So in 2021, we grew by 4 locations. And we were just lucky enough that the people we acquired, their owners were very like-minded like us. And so when we walked in, they had all the same values as us. They couldn't recite the vision, mission, core values like we can at that time, but they were living them out, even though they weren't their vision, mission, core values, right? So those are real easy transitions to do when you have the right people in the building already.
Yeah, fantastic. So, moving on to challenges. This is a challenging industry. Selling tires can be challenging. We have new segments coming on, like the EV segment, or the all-weather segment's fairly new. A lot of questions surrounding those. And then on the service side, vehicles are getting more complicated, a lot more opportunities in ADAS and things of that nature. What do you see as your biggest challenge in this industry right now, and kind of how are you addressing that?
I would say your biggest challenge is always going to be your competition. You want to stay ahead. You want to be the leader. That involves training, keeping up to date with what's going on with technology. So you need to attend the classes you need to learn about it, and put stuff in motion to make sure you put yourself in a position where you're always ahead of those people. I think our people is the advantage that we have. The culture that we have built, and the people with the relationships they have. They, over years of taking care with customers, like Trulis said, I mean, these guys have been with us for 15, 20 years, and they know the kids of our customers, and they know the kids of customers. I mean, we have 4 or 5 generations coming into locations. I think the other thing too is, we all grew up in the business, and so we didn't always have this role. And I think sometimes we're able to communicate with our staff on that same level. We're out in the business. We're always working with them, trying to make them better. And I think that makes a huge difference.
I also think keeping the customer informed, like Nick said, the digital inspection, that's huge. To be able to keep them informed in real time, sending them pictures, sending them videos to get their input of if they want something to happen or not. I think that's been a challenge, but I think how we've handled it, we've really just been able to take care of that.
Yeah, for sure. I think when you look at challenges, when you look at some of the things you talked about ADAS, we're going to run into a consumer challenge where the consumer doesn't know what they have on their car, right? Right now it's cool because, hey, I get in and it stops for me, and it takes off for me, and it turns for me. But those systems will break, and those repairs will be costly. And I think as it sits today, the consumer has no idea what that looks like, right? And so take ADAS, you come in for an alignment and you have a couple of those systems that have to be recalibrated. The customer's not prepared for that. And so there is going to have to be some education in the marketplace as well.
For sure. We've said, I've encountered a lot of times where a consumer, they might think they understand a system, or they think they come in knowing what tire they want. Unbeknownst to them, they did all this research online, but they don't know the industry well enough where they, the tire dealer is going to know better than they do. No, actually, this tire is going to be better for you, and here's why. And so that customer education element is something that the tire dealer just, it's invaluable. You can't necessarily find that by researching online.
Yeah, you're right. That being said, the customer that comes in is way more informed than they've ever been, right? So when they come in, they have more information, they have a selection, they know what they're looking for, they know what characteristics they want that tire to have. Where I agree 100% with you is your reviews aren't telling that. What we do, and when I say we, I truly mean our people. Our people do a great job of asking those questions. Hey, how'd that tire do for you? Hey, we put those weather peaks on last week. How you liking those? Because then we can say, hey, I got 20 people in these and they're doing great. You really should run these. I know you were stuck on this tire, but trust me, I've had no bad reviews on this one, right? Yeah. So I agree with you 100%.
Well, what's even great about that is our managers or whomever's taking care of them will say, hey, I've got these tires on my car or my wife's car, and I love them, or maybe they don't love them. They just give their honest opinion and educate the customer about the tires.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to that point, look, if our guys have bad luck with a tire, they will not sell them.
Right.
And so we'll put a tire in and we'll see they're not moving and go, what's the problem? Hey, we don't like this tire. So we pull them back out, right? If the guys don't like them, they're not going to sell them.
Man. And that's kind of to your point earlier when you were talking about, potential mergers where, you need to know when to back off just as much when to lean in. So I think that's pretty valuable for sure. So if you had to boil it down, independent tire dealers out there watching this right now, and man, I want to be the next Top Shop. What do I have to do? What's your advice to them?
One of our core values is live with integrity, character, and passion. And I think the word integrity there jumps out as it pertains to this. You have to have integrity with your team, and know that they know that you have their back at all times, and that builds the confidence with them to do the same for the customers. Nick, you touched about when you're not just changing oil, you're not just changing tires. when you talk about a person's vehicle, you're talking about their number one or number two expense that they've had in their life, right? And then it's not just that. You're talking about it's the way they get to work to provide a living for their family. It's what they take their kids to school in. It's what they pick up the kids from practices in. It's how you get to family events and things like that. So it's a much bigger thing than an asset. So many times new customers come in a little skeptical. I think that's by nature. Gaining their trust through integrity is the number one thing you have to do. And then you let the Create Raving fans take it from there.
And I think it's very important that you have to take time for your people and really develop that culture, whether it's, giving away tickets or jackets or celebrating with lunches, celebrating the small wins and the big wins. I said earlier, our VPs do such a great job of not staying in their office and being at the stores at the same level with our people. You'll find Chris Fox changing tires. I mean, he just loves it, but he loves helping our people, and developing our people. And I think our people just know that if they need anything, doors are always open. The relationships that we have built, amongst the leadership team, amongst our team members, is second to none. And I think it's very important for companies to realize they really got to spend time with their team members.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to the culture, and that's a cool buzzword right now. It is, but I'll tell you, 6 years ago we started down this journey of truly building a different culture here at Best-One of Indy, leaning in heavy into our vision, mission, and core values, ensuring that every single person that is customer facing knows our vision, mission, and core values. And that's a little harder task to push to everyone in the company that we ask them to do it. But I'll tell you, we do a competition every year at a company party where we give $1,000 away to whoever can recite the vision, mission, core values. It's that important to us for them to know it. And so, look, most of the time you can walk up to someone and they know our core values. And so when our store leaders do corrective conversations, it's wrapped around those core values, right? You look at possessing a servant's attitude, that sounds like, hey, look, we should be really good at customer service. I don't see that that's what it means. I see that possessing a servant's attitude to me means we help out our fellow teammates, right? If there's one ticket on the board and two of you are sitting there, we're going to knock that ticket out together so we can go back to doing whatever we were doing beforehand. It's really, truly that team atmosphere.
I think it's important too, you need to do what you say you're going to do. And it goes with our suppliers. We have part suppliers we give commitments to at the beginning of the year. We do our best to hit those commitments. If we give them our word, we want to go through with it. If you look at tire suppliers, same way. If we make a commitment with them, we want to hit our numbers. I mean, we want to be fair to them. We want to be a good customer for them. So it's important. With our help, if we're trying to get them to the next level, it's up to us to help train them and get them there. And just giving your word and backing it back up, I think is important.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I mean, it's integrity.
Yeah, it is.
Well, guys, this has been wonderful. I really appreciate all your time. I know you guys are all very busy and have a lot going on, so thanks for sitting down with me. This has been wonderful for me as well. So, congratulations, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, that was a fantastic insider look at what's brought Best-One of Indy such success. But I also wanted to get down on the floor to explore the bays and hear straight from a technician what details make Best-One stand out in the area.
Jared, thank you so much. How long have you been working for Best-One of Indy?
So I've been in the industry almost 20 years. I've been with Best-One for 3 so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
And kind of, in your experience, what makes this shop stand out?
This shop to me, being in this industry as long as I have, I've gotten to see all sorts of different environments within shops. And what stuck me into this shop is how they treat their customers and their employees. It's really a family feel from the top down.
Yeah.
I know if I need anything, my manager's there for me, corporate's there for me. And it's really a company that I could retire with and feel totally comfortable investing that amount of time with them.
Fantastic. And how do you approach training here?
There, in my position, being a mechanic, there's several avenues you could go, but they do provide on-the-site training. Also, they have really great programs for up-and-coming techs. And then also there's endless classes, and just multiple resources you can look into to further your career within the company. But they have really great programs for up and coming techs.
Fantastic. And you know, if you're encountering you know, any specific challenge that you're seeing maybe day in, day out, you know, how do you kind of approach that with your team and make sure that everybody's on the same page and that you know kind of how you want to handle that?
So that's the beautiful thing about my store is we see each other more than we see each other's families. And we're a very high volume store. So we really get a lot of challenges daily. But we have such a camaraderie in the back that we all just help each other out. So there's not many things that come in that my team and I can't figure out putting our heads together.
Fantastic. And so obviously Best-One of Indy has just been named our 2024 Top Shop.
It's incredible.
You know, if you could boil it down to a word or a phrase, you know, why do you think you deserve these accolades?
It's super easy for me to pick a word. It's family. They treat their customers like family. They treat their employees like family. I know each shop has their own family element to it. And I think when you enjoy going to work and you enjoy being around the people you're around, the rest of it comes easy.
Makes a huge difference for sure.
Yeah.
Jared, thank you so much.
No problem
really
at all.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Another important aspect of being a top shop is finding and retaining talent. In the back of your head, you want to hope that it will just be automatic. Do good work and good people will find you. The old build it and they will come mantra. And yeah, that's not all wrong, but it's certainly not fully automatic. If a shop really wants to excel in this area, it takes a concerted effort.
Dom, thank you so much for taking the time out. So, you know, Best-One of Indy has just been named our 2024 Top Shop. And of course, a big part of that is the people, right? I mean, it's arguably the biggest part. So how do you make sure that you're acquiring great talent and then retaining that talent?
Yeah, I think, you know, for us, it starts with our marketing and our social media and getting out there and people knowing about who we are. Going to career fairs, also Trula does a great job with our social media, making us look good out there. And then getting our job postings engaging enough to where someone would want to apply here, right? Kind of, you know, jazzing us up a little bit on the postings. And then once we get people apply, we start doing an interview process. That interview process from day one when we start talking to our team members, we're talking about our core values and our mission, right?
Sure.
So it's no surprise when they get here for orientation what we're all about, and just trying to make sure we're hiring for the right fit. And the right fit for us is making sure that they're a good culture fit, which means they live by our core values. So once we get them in for orientation, they come in for about an hour, and we just acquaint them with the company, who we are, who's the leaders, where we came from, and how we got here to today. And then within that, you know, we still talk about our core values, and then we give them swag bags, so t-shirts, Best-One items, all of that stuff. And then also we end that with the career roadmap, and what that looks like is a visual aid of all the options we have here at Best-One of Indy, where you could go. You don't just get hired in and stay at that position. That's not our hope for you. We hope that you can grow, take on new responsibilities, new roles, and so showing the team member that, and then sending them on their way to the store, and then they get to the store. Onboarding's not done, right? So then they get to the store and the manager walks them through, greets them to each team member, shows them where the locker room is, where the break room is, all of that. And then they start their training.
Wow.
So it's pretty robust, but we believe that if we love them well from that interview process, then that's how we can start creating raving fans.
And so you mentioned core values a few times in there, of course for good reason. How do you determine, okay, this person's going to be a good fit based on our core values and what they seem to value as well?
Yeah, so one of our go-tos in our interview process is telling team members, hey, these are our core values. Which one resonates with you most and why? So just kind of starting it in casual conversation with team members from the moment we get to speak with them.
Wow. Well, fantastic. Thank you, Dom. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So there you have it. Congratulations to Best-One of Indy for being named Tire Review's 2024 Top Shop. The honor is well deserved.